Well, there is reportedly a growing list of Senate Democrats who have yet to back Minority Leader Chuck Schumer to be their next leader. Schumer is trying to quash any doubts about him in the position. It's an issue that could divide Democrats on the primary campaign trail. Let's bring in our panel. Kaylee McGee-White, Senior Fellow for the Independent Women's Forum and Steamboat Institute Fellow, and Fred Hicks, Hicks Evaluation Group founder and president. Thank you both for coming on. Kaylee McGee-White, to you first. I was kind of fascinated. I want to play some sound. This is Chuck Schumer on MSNBC trying to convince the world that the Democrats are united. Watch.
Right now, Democrats, I know you've seen the polls, have the lowest approval rating in history. How do they turn that around?
The coordinated message is very simple, and that is this budget is hurting you. And our job, and we are united, Allie. We are totally united. You don't see any divisions in the Democrats the way you do with the Republicans.
I mean, the truth is, and you know this, Kaylee, better than anybody, when he says united, totally united, when your approval rating for your party is in the mid-20s, there's nobody who's united.
Yeah, they're so united that he's facing a coup from his own party about whether he's going to remain the Senate minority leader. And look, I'm a little bit sympathetic to the younger Democrats like AOC who want a change in their party. They want a new face of leadership. And I say this maybe because I'm part of that younger generation myself. But the problem is that the younger Democrats have no reasonable alternative to provide for the Democratic Party. I think of the AOCs and the Jasmine Crockett's, and they remind me a little bit of Cory Booker on his 25-hour-long filibuster the other week, which is that this new strategy apparently is that they want to talk nonstop while providing absolutely nothing of substance to voters. That's not a winning strategy. So like Schumer or not, he's at least providing a path forward that AOC and Jasmine Crockett are not.
Yeah, and Fred, it's a very good point because you look at AOC and you look at Jasmine Crockett, they're saying stuff every single day. It's getting them on television. It's certainly blowing up on social media. But is it effective as a political strategy? Because their names are getting out there, but is their reputation following that, you know, that public outing?
Well, you know, that's a great question. The one thing we do know is that voters are very unhappy with what they're getting out of this administration. A new Quinnipiac poll that just came out, covered through the April 9th period, shows that Donald Trump's approval rating is at about 41%, and people, including independents, are not happy with what they're seeing. And so that's why we're having this conversation in the Democratic Party, because Donald Trump has left a huge opening for us to take advantage of this and to rebound in next year's midterm elections. And we have to be ready to seize that opportunity, whatever and whoever is providing that leadership.
Kaylee, how would you respond to that? Because, you know, you look at different polls and you look at the people that we talk to, and the president is doing exactly what he campaigned on doing, exactly why he won and said he would do. And there seems to be a lot of Americans who are pleased with the way things are going.
Yeah, I would disagree with my counterpart there on that. In fact, there was just a CNN poll that was out today that found that Democrats and Republicans, for the first time in decades, are evenly tied among voters on which party actually cares about voters like them. And this comes amidst the tariff war. It comes amidst all of the stock market craziness. So respectfully, voters do, in fact, like what they're seeing coming out of the Trump administration. And they definitely do not like what they're seeing coming from the Democratic side, which still remains at 20% approval.
Yeah, Fred, I'll let you.
Apples and oranges here. Yeah, apples and oranges here. What she's not addressing and what she's not talking about in that CNN poll is whether or not people trust and like what Donald Trump himself is doing, what this administration is doing. We're not talking about the political parties. We're talking about that Donald Trump's approval rating has fallen to 41%, almost 10 points in the last 30 days. So the more Americans are exposed to him, the more that he's implementing his agenda that, yes, people voted for, the less likely they are to support what he is doing. Listen, so many Americans said that they voted for one part of his agenda or another part of his agenda, but when he is pulling this together into one tapestry that is really threatening the 401ks, the livelihoods, the national security of our country, people are not happy with it. Now, the Democrats have to get it together. That is true. The Democrats are not well thought of in terms of as a party right now, but again, there is an opening.
Yeah. Fred Hicks, Kaylee McGee-White, thank you both.